Hi everyone, Dr. Lee here from Your Vet Online, and this week we're going to have a little chat about constipation in dogs, withholding periods for drugs in racehorses, and also a quick note on hotspots in dogs. Alright then guys, and in case you missed it, make sure you head over to the blog because we had a great chat on our Facebook Live last week. I was talking to Dr. Bree Talbot and it was fabulous. We spoke all about rabbits, guinea pigs, ferrets, rats and mice. So if you missed that and you've got one of those pets, make sure you head over there or check out our YouTube page because it's a great chat and you'll get lots and lots of helpful hints from that. It's also on our blog, so make sure you head over there. Before we go any further, my Facebook Live tonight, I've decided to do a once a month free question evening. So if you've got a question about your pets, horses, absolutely anything, you can ask me live. So pop your questions into the link on the Facebook page or tune in at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time and I'll answer your questions live. Before we get going any further, we will be having a little chat tonight about behaviour with dogs at the park. I've been experiencing a few little issues when I go to the park lately, so I just wanted to touch on some of them tonight before we head into the question time. All right then, let's get to the first question, and this one is about a greyhound. I have a greyhound that I feed a chicken carcass to each night, but he's getting constipated. Why is this happening? Okay, well, constipation occurs whether it's in a human, whether it's a cat, a dog, a horse. It happens when the stools stay in the cecum in the colon, for far too long and they absorb lots of water. Now, this means that it could be a multitude of things causing this problem. It might not even have anything to do with the chicken carcass. It might be something totally different. So there's things that it could be that we've got to consider. It could be things like diseases of the colon. Sometimes we have problems with the colon where it doesn't have very good nerve supply, and so we get a very flaccid colon and it doesn't have any strength to actually make those peristaltic waves push the feces through. It could be the type of food you're feeding it, like dogs or cats that you feed too many bones to. Sometimes that can make them get a little bit blocked up. You can also find if the diet isn't high enough in fibre, that can also happen. Some drugs we're very prone to causing constipation. So if your dog or your cat might be on antihistamines, even your horses, some opiate can cause that problem. Sulcralfate, which is a gut protector, can cause that problem. So drugs can be an issue. We also have got to remember that fear and anxiety can also cause an issue and result in constipation. It can also go the other way and result in diarrhea. So if your dog or your cat or your horse is feeling a little bit upset and they feel like they can't go to the toilet and they're holding on for longer than usual, that can make them constipated. So as you can see, there's so many reasons for constipation. So we really need to hone down and have a good think about it. Now, if your dog or your cat or your horse has a problem with constipation, absolutely get in touch with us. We can have a consult. We can go through all these, the history with your animal and try and work out what could be the problem, and we can also give you some treatments and let you know what you have to do to help solve that problem. You can get in touch with us via the website yourvetonline.com and you can ask us a question and we can answer that for you. All right then, next question. Hotspots. my dog keeps getting hot spots and itchy, horrible, smelly skin. Oh dear, yep. This is a big problem with a lot of dogs, and not so much for cats and not really for horses, although similar things apply to horses if they get a cover rub or they've got an area under their mane that might be getting moist and yucky. So basically, hot spots are caused, generally speaking, when there's an itch. So if your animal has any sort of allergy, maybe it's to fleas, maybe they have got a food allergy, maybe they've got a contact allergy when they go out and about. Any sort of itch, what it happens is your animal will start either scratching or licking at that spot or rubbing it, and then it causes the skin to become damaged. As soon as you have a break in the skin, our animals are much more prone to infection. They're not like us, we're not putting them in the bath every day, and we don't want to be bathing them every day. So please don't do that. But it does mean that itchy skin can, and if you get a break in that skin, they can get an infection. So there are some things that can cause this. So if we've got a dog that likes swimming a lot, maybe you've got a horse and you're working it and then you put a big cover on top and the horse is not dry, and that cover causes lots of moisture to be trapped inside that area. So the same thing can happen then. So moisture, big reason. So if you can try and keep moisture, dry off your pets, dry off your horse after work and after shampooing, then that can help stop this problem. If you've got a known allergy, then try and prevent that from happening. Again, I've got a deal and some guides on my website that you can look at for that. So head over there and I'll pop the links below so that you can check out those areas and get some tips on helping your itchy dogs. Grooming. If you're not, again, this can be for horses, dogs and cats. If you're not grooming your pet and it gets a big, and it has a lot of matted hair, or in the case with a horse, you might have left its cover on for quite some time and you're not actually removing it, then again, it can get to the stage where that matted hair or mane or whatever it might be can cause the moisture to be entrapped in there and starts to get damp, and then the skin breaks and then we get those problems. So moisture, grooming, allergies, basically you've got to stop that itch. So if you need help to stop your dog's itching, make sure you get in touch because we've got some good tips for you there. I'll pop the links below and then you can get in touch with us when you have a moment. Right, and our next big topic, I have been getting heaps of questions about withholding periods in horses, and especially related to cobalt. Yes, it's still popping up, guys. So the key thing when it comes to racehorses or greyhounds, anything that you're racing, is you've got to look at the labels. And every drug will have and when you get a drug from your vet, they should be writing a withholding period on it for racing as well as for meat production, because as we know, and we don't really like this, horses can be used for meat. Okay, so you follow those guidelines. Now, the thing with withholding periods is that there haven't been a lot of trials with them, with horses receiving and dogs receiving the drug. And so these withholding periods are guidelines, guys. They are not set in stone. So if you're worried, you can do your own testing. There's nothing to stop you doing that. But if you're worried, put a few more days on it. It's not going to be the end of the world. Now, if we think about cobalt as an example, the people who get positive swabs with cobalt are doing something illegal. Cobalt is not in the vast majority of products available over the counter. If you use those at the dose rate that it says on the bottle and you inject those at the correct time for the rules of racing, you will not get a positive swab. There is absolutely no reason to think that you will. Now, the people that are getting these positive swabs, they're not doing that. They are doing something else. So as long as you know what you're putting into your horse, it's a reputable product, it comes out of a bottle that's labelled, and you know exactly what's in that bottle, you should have no fear whatsoever that the products that you're giving your horses are safe. Now, remember, go check your rules of racing. Make sure that you're not giving anything at a time that's within that no-go zone. So check that and use products that are registered for horses and dogs in this country, and you'll be safe. All right then, guys, you can check out the website, yourvetonline.com. There's heaps of articles on there. Don't forget, if you've got any questions for tonight's Facebook Live, head over there and head over to the page, write your questions down, and I'll try and answer those tonight. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Bye.